It's Pankaj here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we are going to talk about Spacy Part 2. So we have seen a lot of functionality in the first part, right? And at the last, I forgot to share one screen for while talking about the shape of a given word, right? So I'll start with that, and later we'll proceed with the next session. Okay, so let me share my desktop. Okay, guys. So so these are the topic I'm going to cover today. So we'll see first noun chunk and how to extract the root word from the noun chunk, and how we can do limitation in a very effective way using Spacy library, and how to do NER or uh, part of speech visualization using displace function, which is provided by the Spacy. This is one of the best visualization for the text data in the Spacy library. Okay, then later we'll see how we can find NER, how we can do the visualization, how we can filter the specific given NER from the raw data. Okay, then how we can do the visualization. And those who are going to download a small application based on Displace or based on the Spacy library, that can be saved in the HTML format data, and later you can display the whole HTML data in the browser. Okay, so this will be very good example, those who are really going to download small application. Okay, and how to filter a specific name entity recognition from the given raw text, how we can remove the stop word and punctuation just by using the attribute. Okay, so let me start with the thing which I forgot in the last video. Okay, so I was talking about the shape here. So shape of a word in, let's say, Spacy. Okay, so let's say you have given a word apple, capital letter, and rest is small. Okay, so how to represent the shape of this particular word? So basically what they do, they take each capital letter and represent as capital S, and a small letter will be represented as small x, small x, small x, small x. Okay, so this is the shape of your apple word. Okay, now let me talk about another example. Let's say we have capital S, S, C, capital H, small o, capital L. That is school. Okay, so what will be the shape of this word? Then we'll have capital X, small c, capital X, small o, and capital X. This will be your shape of your word called school. Okay, so we have seen in the previous video how we can filter it, right? We have something called shape. Okay, so this was the example which I wanted to show. Now let's move to the next topic. So as usual, I'll import these libraries, spacy.sp, spacy as sp, spacy import displace. This is the function we are going to use for data visualization. Okay, so PUS as well as NER. Then I'm exporting stop word also, which is there in the spacy, and the name as capital stop in words. Then ORTH, which we have already seen in the last video, right? Orthography to get the hash number for a given word in the English data model. Okay, so let's go ahead and import it. Then check the version. Then I'll import or load the English model also. So let it load. Okay, so those who are watching this video first time, so I would say please go back to my previous video playlist and watch the Spacy part 1. Okay, so there I explained about like downloading Spacy library and what are other prerequisites. So like loading the language model is also very important. Okay, so N core web SM is the English model which you need to download before doing any processing in the text. Okay, and the text data I got from wiki page about this famous person Barack Obama, and we are going to do some processing on this text data. Okay, so let's load it. And first is like how to get noun chunks, right? So noun chunk is nothing but basically you have given a sentence, right? So noun will be followed by something, right? So how we can get that particular chunk, not just the word, just for the word we have done word combination, right? From the given word it will not make any sense. Let's say the IBM, right? So the IBM is nothing but one noun, right? So just IBM will not work properly. The IBM makes more sense, right? Like President Obama, that makes more sense, correct? Not just Obama, President, it is a prefix, right? So like that, we have to filter with the from the given raw text as noun chunk. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So first I'll create one object from NLP, and what is my text data? So this is your obj. Okay, this is a complete text. Now from this you can do, we have something called for w or maybe for n in obj dot, we have something called noun chunks. Okay, so this is the attribute you need to do, and print, let's say, n dot text, because by default it will be some token, right? So we need to convert into text. Okay, so like Obama's father, Barack Obama, a teenage goat herd, right? Rural Kenya. So you see every word is associated with some particular word, noun, right? That is what is your noun chunk. So scholarship, the United States. If you would have taken the token, then the would have been separate word, United would have been separate word, states would have been separate word. The complete United States makes sense, right? To represent a continent. Okay, the Kenyan government, Obama's mother, and like that. So this is your noun chunk. Now what you can do, you can get root word of the noun chunk also. How to get that? Let's copy this. So from each noun you can get the root word. So like the United States, what is your root word? United, right? Because the whole noun is representing United States. Okay, so like that you'll find. See here. Let's say father, Obama, Goater, right? Same thing, it is just separating the root word. Okay, so we are talking about the father, right? Whose father? Obama's father. So that's why root word is father. Then Barack Obama. They're talking about this name. Correct. After that, we have talked about United States. So that will also come here. Okay, so that's how you can get the root word from root attribute. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the lemmatization. So for lemmatization, let's take a small word, small sentence, because our text is so big. I'll just take this particular word, this sentence, that should be good enough. Let's say p2 equal to this. Okay, that is good enough. Now I'm going to create another obj 2 equal to NLP p2. Okay, so obj2, and this is going to be word, right? So for each word, I can, from each word token, basically I can get the word as dot text, correct? So now I got the text, and from this text I'm going to filter all the lemma words, right? So what are those lemmas? So basically lemma you can get from the attribute called lemma. So as I mentioned, if any name, any attribute which is having underscore, without underscore, right? So if you are talking about without underscore, those attribute will have the hash number, okay, in the English model. But this number doesn't make any sense for us. And internally, Python interpreter will interpret based on the model given. But for us, it makes sense to have the exact string representation of that number. To get that, we have to use underscore. Okay, so let me just write it here. See here. Okay, so what I can do, I can take the original word dot txt and their corresponding lemma, right? So Obama, okay, then father. So we have not done any cleaning, right? So that's okay. But let's talk about some verb. Let's say we have married, right? So married has converted to marry. Okay, then similarly there could be some other word also, met. Met is a second form or maybe third form, right? So it is showing as meet. This is the exact lemma or the root word or dictionary root word of the given word. Okay, settled. So it is settled. Then we have something called, yeah, we have very less example here. That's okay, but you got the idea, right? So lemmatization is nothing but extracting the root word from the given English word. Okay, so see how easy it is. You just have to use the lemma underscore attribute to get the lemmatization done. So earlier in NLTK we saw snowball stemmer, powder stemmer, regular expression stemmer, and lemmatization also, right? Here everything is done using this particular attribute. So this will be very helpful when you are going to trade over each word tokenization. Okay, now let's see displace tree view of word using displace render. So there is one function called displace, and if you use a render function of displace, it will render the whole given word and it will just show all the dependency of each part of speech. Okay, that is PUS. So how we can do that? So let's say we generated this obj2, right? So all you can do is just call displace dot render. It will take what is the object you would like to render it. Okay, so we have by default string is nothing but dependency. Okay, so let's use dependency of which data, obj2. You see here how beautifully it is representing the whole data. Okay, the complete sentence it has taken, it is just showing all the dependency and their complete PUS detail also, adjective, noun, verb, preposition. Okay, then conjunction, everything will be shown in the form of this arrow. Okay, so whole thing can be saved in the form of HTML also. So let me just show it. I'll just show by giving another example. So let's say before that I'll talk about other parameter also. So in case you are not getting this graph displayed in HTML, we have something called Jupyter. Okay, so by default it is none. Okay, so if you make Jupyter equal to true, then it will start displaying in your Jupyter notebook. Okay, if it is not displaying, then use true. Okay, we have something called, there is something called page also, right? So if you make this page as true, means the whole data can be represented and stored in the HTML string data, and that HTML string can be saved in the HTML file. Okay, so later you can open in the browser separately and just display it. Okay, so for that you have to make sure that you are not displaying it. Okay, so let's show it, or maybe I'll show on the, okay, let me do it here, or I'll show under this particular part how to save entities. Anyway, I'm going to show for NER, right? I'll show for dependency also. Okay, so you can easily visualize the whole dependency and each POS tag also, and you can easily understand how it is related. Now let's see the next one, how to get the meaning of any denoted word by NLP using explain. So we have direct function called as p dot explain. Okay, so understand, let's say you don't know what is this PROPN, right? Just copy and paste it here. It is going to show you the detail. Okay, proper noun. Similarly, you can have, let's say, DET. What is DET? It's a determiner, right? What is aux? Just copy paste and get it done. Auxiliary. Okay, so this is the way you can get the explanation. Now let's talk about another one. How to find out any named entity recognition in given doc. Okay, so in NLTK also we saw there was a separate function, and here also now we have talked about the pipelining, right? The moment you pass the whole raw data to a given block, right, everything is done in the pipelining process. You just have to extract using attribute. So how we can do? Let's say obj, this is the one. So we have something called for, let's say we have ner in obj dot, we have something called entities. Okay, and for this particular ner you can just get all the entities. But here if you see, right, they have found a lot of entities, but they're not giving what kind of entities it is, right? So I'm just going to store them in the form of tuple. So let's get ner and ner dot label. So again, label will be giving your number in the hash table, and if you give label underscore, it is going to present. So Obama is represented as person name, Barack Obama again person, Kenya is nothing but GP. Okay, so let's talk about what is GP, what exactly it stands for. Countries, cities, and states. The whole thing is represented in the form of GPPOS. Okay. Then year is nothing but your date. Then we have cardinal value only one, right? This is not just a text; it's a string representation of number one. Correct. So that will be represented as cardinal. Then what else we have? Yeah. So this is one way of getting all the NER in the text format. Okay. Same thing we can do the relation also. Okay, what is another way? So we saw, right, for W, maybe way to get NER in OBJ. In W, correct? So this was the word. Now what you can do is we have something called entities type. You see here, for each word it is giving. So I want to filter only the person type. So I'll show how you can get it filtered. Okay, so entity type, if you give, then it is going to give the number, but entity type underscore, if you give, it is going to give all the exact type of the number. Okay, and later you can do filtering by giving w dot text and just find out. So for each given text you have the entity type. So either you go with entities or just go to the word tokenization, and from there you filter as entities type. So any way you can filter, it is up to you guys. Okay, now let's see how to filter a specific entity or NER from the raw data. How you can do that? So let's say it is giving all the detail, right? But I'm interested only to see the person name. So how we can do? For W in OBJ, if W dot entity type ID equal to, let's say I want to see only person, right? Then you display only those person name. So W dot text followed by W dot entity type underscore. Okay, so it is going to filter only those tag where the NER type is person. Earlier you saw everything it is giving, right? But I'm not interested in all those things. So either you do the cleaning, then filter only the entity, right? Otherwise you just provide the filter name in the condition and just print it. Okay. Similarly, let's say you have, or I want to filter only cardinal number. So I'll just give cardinal number from the given. So we have only 1, then 10, half, 2. See how beautifully it is filtering all the details. Okay. So now let's see how you can display it. Okay guys, so close your eyes and see the magic, what Displace can do. So what I will do now, we have displace dot render. Now it is going to take the object name, so I'll just give original obj, and here we have something called entity or maybe style. So by default style, if you remember, right, I showed in the help function, it was showing as dependency. Okay, but here if you give NER, that is going to display all the entities. Sorry, not NER, it is ENTS. See here, this is one of the best part which I like very much in the Spacy. Okay, so it will highlight all the entities in the different color and same color for one unique entity. Okay, like person will be always this purple color, and yellow will be always GP, and similarly organization is nothing but this cyan color. Correct. Language will be red, orange, something. See here, the beautiful way of representing the whole NER data. Okay guys, so this is why I like Spacy. I think you should also start loving it, or you will start loving it once you start trying all the beautiful functionalities or fetching all the attributes detail. Okay, so now we have all the entities visualization. Let's see the next one. How to display only specific entities in Displace. So here, if you see, I'm getting all the entities, right? But let's say you are developing one application and runtime you'd like to filter only a given name, right? Let's say only person name or only date values or only cardinal value or maybe date and cardinal value like that, right? So what you can do, we have something called option here. So option needs all the entities. So I can just give, let's say I want to display all the ends colon, just give the dictionary. Okay, it can have so many different kind of keyword key and value pair, but I'm just interested in ends now, and it will take list of all the entities which you would like to mention. So this is not a case sensitive, you can put in any case. Okay, so it's not end, so end. Yeah, so remember that ends stands for entities. Okay, so now you see here I'm interested only in person name. So you see it is highlighting only the person name. See the beauty of Spacy. Let's say you would like to see person and cardinal. You see here, cardinal also it is mentioned. Okay, I want to see personal, cardinal, and organization as well. See here, awesome way of representing the whole NER type. Okay, so this is one way of representing the data. Now we'll see how to save entities in HTML page. Okay, so let's copy and paste here. Cardinal org. Okay, so whenever you are going to save, right, remember one thing, you need to make Jupyter as false because everything is getting displayed, right? And it will not be able to save in the HTML page. So when you make it false, store the whole data in HTML. Okay, so let's say I'm not going with the option, I'm going to display everything. Okay, so what is the mistake here? Okay, now HTML is there. If you would like to see what is there in HTML, you can just see whole data, whatever it is shown here, right? Everything will be shown as HTML tag. Okay. Now this is the string, whole string data. I'm going to redirect whole output in the one file. Okay. So what I'll use, I will use context manager with open, let's say displace ner dot html open write as file object fo dot write whole string. Okay, that's all you need to do. And once it is done, let me just check what is my present working directory. Yes, this is the one. So I'm going to use it here, and let me save where displace has come or not. Displace.html. Yeah, this is the one. What is the file name? Displace ner, right? Where is, oh sorry, I closed it. Yeah, you see here. So once you are able to save whole NER data into HTML format, right? So later you can run a small application, runtime you generate NER HTML, and it will be live update in the HTML data, HTML tags. Okay, so this is believe me guys, this is one of the best way to visualize NER data in HTML format. Okay, and once you write the application, which will take the runtime value from the user and it will keep displaying it. Maybe you can add one text box here or the list box, select whatever entities or whatever NER you would like to visualize, select it, and automatically runtime it will just do the visualization. Okay, so that's how you save it. And later if you would like to save it or show it in the Jupyter once again, just make it Jupyter equal to true. Okay, find out total number of occurrences of all entities. How you can do that? For w in, so what I'll do, I'll just create a list of this, just one small exercise for you guys. For w in obj, if obj dot, sorry, entity type underscore equal to org. Okay, then take w, or maybe just replace it with 1. Correct? How many we have? 1. Then get sum of this. How many such org names mentioned? Total 25 names are there. Correct? Similarly, how many? What happened? Yeah. Similarly, how many person name has been used in the whole raw text? Just use person. Okay. Similarly, how many such cardinal value have been used? Total 5 times. Okay. So these are some tricky way to find out total number of occurrences of organization, person, cardinal, or maybe GP, whichever you want. You can just filter out. Okay. Now let's talk about another thing. Remove stop word punctuation using is stop and is punctuate attribute. So I'm going to use same data here. So what I'll use, W is stop. Is it a stop word? Okay, if it is stop word, then I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use w.text by making it negate. If it is not stop word, then give me that complete output. Okay, see here. Or what I can do, and you see here punctuations are also coming. So let's remove the punctuation as well. If W is stop, negate it, and not W is punct. Is it a punctuation? If it did not, then return it. No more punctuation, guys. Only the word. You see here. This is the best way to filter all the data. And Space is really very fast. I mean, you guys should start using it very frequently whenever you have large chunk of data. Pass it to pipeline, get the object, just start using the attributes and get your work done very easily. Okay, so that's all about Displacy and Spacy. This second part. You can try a few things at home, like create a list of words, sentence after removing stop when make sentence. Okay, so by doing sentence tokenization or word tokenization, okay, and filter them properly. Okay, guys, so that's all from my side. In the next video of Spacy, we'll see the pipelining. We'll see. So we have seen the high level of view, right? How NLP or raw text data is going to be passed in the block of where so many functionalities are there, right? So we will have more control over it. You remove the block, add the block, completely disable or completely enable all the blocks, whichever block you want, which we'll see in the next part. I hope you like the video. If you're not understanding some part, please leave out your comment in the comment box. I'll definitely help you guys. Okay, then thank you so much. Bye.